alone. Bayero University Kano launches protection policy on gender-based violence. And on the foreign scene, tear gas fired as thousands rally in Sudan against coup. Possessing a permanent voter's card is a duty to all citizens. Please ensure you acquire yours. Good evening. You're listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Zahra Zanna. Today is the 17th of November, 2021, and now the news in full. The Senate has passed a bill to establish the Real Estate Regulatory Council of Nigeria. The bill will help curb fraudulent practices to ensure that the real estate business conforms with the National Building Code in the country. It's also to create an innovative and sustainable environment to promote Nigeria as a real estate investment destination in Africa and the world. The bill, the Real Estate Regulatory Council of Nigeria Bill 2021, was sponsored by Senator Aliyu Wamako. It was read for the first time on April 28 and scaled second reading on June 22nd. The passage of the bill today during plenary, presided over by the Deputy President of the Senate, O.V. Omo Agege, was sequel to the consideration of a report by the Committee on Establishment and Public Service. The House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill to make healthcare delivery for Nigerian children free and compulsory. The bill, sponsored by Bello Kauje, was passed during the plenary today. Presenting the bill, Kauje said the bill was read the first time in July, adding that the proposed bill was occasioned by the fact that children's health is different from that of adults because they are exposed to so many risks. According to him, the bill is to ensure that healthcare services for children as well as referral cases in other healthcare service centers in the country. Speaker Bajabia Miller then put the bill through a voice note and was passed and referred to the House Committee on Healthcare Services. The Minister of Labor and Employment, Chris Ngige, has said that education cannot be funded by the government alone. Ngige said this while responding to questions about the looming industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. Earlier, ASU President Professor Emmanuel Osodeke issued a 3-week ultimatum to the federal government to address all issues in the December 2020 agreement. He warned that should the government fail to implement the memorandum of action signed with ASU prior to the suspension of the last industrial action, the union would be compelled to embark on another nationwide strike. Some of the issues include unpaid allowances as well as the university's revitalization fund. But Ngige maintained that he has continued to do everything within his power to meet their demands. Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dare has urged the two gladiators in the leadership crisis rocking the Nigerian Basketball Federation to sheath their swords and work for the progress of the game. Dare urged them to sink their differences and come together in the interest of the sport. Correspondent Muhammad Sani Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
Sunday Dare, who spoke in Abuja through Kola Daniel, his special advisor on media, at the first semi-final match of the ongoing Super 8 of the Basketball Men's Premier League, said the dispute between Musa Kida, the immediate past president of the MBBF, and an erstwhile president of the Federation, Jan Umar, over the leadership of the Federation needed to be settled urgently. Meanwhile, Nigerian head coach Ghana Draw has blamed the Super Eagles' unconvincing displays in recent games on the absence of key players due to injury. Nigeria qualified for the Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup playoff round after earning a win and a draw on match day 5 and 6 to finish top of Group C. Similarly, Argentina qualified for the 2022 World Cup finals in Qatar as a goalless draw at home against Brazil combined with the result elsewhere to secure their spot. Copa America champions joined Brazil as the second South American team to qualify for the tournament. Their place was confirmed after Chile's 2-0 defeat at home by Ecuador later on Tuesday, together with Europe Uruguay's 3-0 loss in Bolivia earlier on. Argentina are now unbeaten in 27 matches over the past 2 years. And on tennis, Britain's Cameron Norrie will make his debut at the ATP Finals after Stefanos Tsitsipas withdrew injured from the event in Turin. The 26-year-old was second alternative for the season-ending tournament, with the first reserve Jannik Sinner having replaced Matteo Berrettini yesterday. Norrie will take on Norway's Kasper Ruud on Wednesday and world number 1 Novak Djokovic on Friday. Mohammed Sanuba, Freedom Radio.
The Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, www.freedomradionig.com.
Ba za ka iya zuwa gurin sallah ba saboda mura da majina. Lalle ka sha maganin Mixer Grip saboda sauki daga ciwon mura da kuma majina. Mixer Grip yana da sinadarin paracetamol da kuma phenylephrine.
Mixer Grip an yi shi da dangantaccen kamfanin magani mai suna Orange Drugs Limited. Idan ka ji alamomin mura da majina bayan kwana 3, ka je asibiti ka ga likita. Mixer Grip, kar ka tsallake rana.
Samu sauki kama
.5 FM. The based violence protection policy. The policy was launched in collaboration with the Women's Right Advancement and Protection Alternative and the Yaradua Foundation. The Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Abbas that the institution had well articulated and clear rules and regulations. It explained the of Niger place at 2 a.m. to rescue the kidnapped victims. On the community said the bandits operated
embedded in illegality. MFLS stated this 2 weeks after the regulators directed banks to close accounts of cryptocurrency dealers. The commercial banks also closed the bank account of some illegal foreign exchange.
Foreign scene, thousands protested in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, today against last month's coup, chanting no to military power, in defiance of a crackdown that has already claimed 24 lives. Several rallies broke out across Khartoum, even though telephone lines were cut and internet services have been disrupted since October 25th. Security forces fired tear gas on the protesters, causing several injuries. Ahead of the protests, Sudanese authorities announced the closure of 4 out of 10 bridges linking the capital Khartoum with the cities of Bahri and Omdurman. The closures are aimed to prevent protesters from coming to the capital and joining protests. The renewed protest came as United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged Africans to watch out for rising threats to democracy as he began a 3-nation tour of the continent in Kenya. We've come to the end of today's global news, but before we leave, highlight of our top stories. The Senate has passed a bill to establish the Real Estate Regulatory Council of Nigeria. The bill would help curb fraudulent practices to ensure that the real estate business conforms with the National Building Code in the country. The House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill to make healthcare delivery for Nigerian children free and compulsory. The Center for Gender Studies, Bayero University, Kano, has launched a gender-based violence protection policy. The policy was launched in collaboration with the Women's Right Advancement and Protection Alternative and the Yaradua Foundation. And thousands protested in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, today against last month's coup, chanting no to military power in defiance of a crackdown that has already claimed 24 lives. We've come to the end of today's global news. On behalf of the entire production team and I, Zahra Zanna, thank you for listening.